basikeli upatikani, nyororo yako sawa lakini wewe huendeshwangi. Kwa kupendeza umerithi macho yangu na kutamani, sitoweza kunengua peke yangu ukiwa ndani. Ukiwa ndani unaniumiza sana, na ukitoka nje unanituliza mama. Ukiwa ndani unaniumiza sana, ukitoka nje minatulia mama. Nchini Lesotho mpaka Moroko, senaelwani, wana wadogo mpaka wakubwa, senaelwani, bara Afrika mpaka Amerika, senaelwani, senaelwani, senaelwani. Nchini Lesotho mpaka Moroko, senaelwani, wana wadogo mpaka wakubwa, senaelwani, bara Afrika mpaka Amerika, senaelwani, senaelwani. Kama makale mama, mimi naichoma roho, na ukitaka kanuni zote zako mama, na tukipata wewe tutoroke sote mama. So mwana waifu ulira amba uchile, toka sena toka sena toka, toka sena toka sena toka.
Hello and welcome to Downtown Variety Kenya edition, presented by MaMa and CultureHub in collaboration with Bold Theatre. I am your host, Maddie Barber-Bockelman, and I am here in my bedroom in Brooklyn, New York, where it's noon. I can hear the church bells ringing. And this is where I've been with you for the better part of 20 editions of Downtown Variety for the past year. And on Downtown Variety, we've been collaborating with artists and technologists to discover what is possible in this online format. In 2021, Downtown Variety has gone overseas to Brazil, Serbia, Korea, and now Kenya. And we are so deeply excited to be continuing a collaboration with artists from Bold Theatre. Bold Theatre was on Downtown Variety back in July when we collaborated, or was it August? I think it was August, yeah, August, when we collaborated with artists from Bold Theatre to make a short piece, and now they're back for a whole show. So they are also an international resident company for La Mama's 59th season, and I want to welcome Aroji Otieno, who is the founder and artistic director of Bold Theatre. Aroji. Yes.
Hey. Good to see you.
So good to see you.
Looking forward.
Oh my God. I feel like there's been so much leading up into this moment, and there's also so much that goes beyond this moment.
Yes, hopefully, yes. I'm so glad to be here. And it's been an exciting moment, as you said. So we are really looking forward to share our work with everyone who's watching.
And Aroji, where are you right now?
Well, I usually say I'm in Nairobi, but I'm slightly outside Nairobi. So technically, I'll call that Nairobi just to avoid the details. But that is, yeah, so Nairobi, Kenya, representing East Africa.
Nice. And it's 7 p.m. where you are, evening?
It's 7 p.m. It's evening, where I know there's a little bit of a time difference, but you know, there's no time, there's no space. So we're all here.
Amazing. So tonight we're going to see a lot of different work that has come out of the company and is related to the company, mainly in the past year. And we're going to be talking throughout to learn a little bit more about Bold Theatre and what's been going on in your collaborations. And yeah, is there anything that you want to tell our audience before we jump in?
Thank you. Well, I mean, Bold Theatre is very much experimental. It's about, the experiences we go through in our life. So I feel like it's more of a journey. Being the founder, I also see a lot of my experiences and myself in it, where it started, but also the ability to let it go based on the people who are also joining and bringing in the experiences. So what I envisioned it to be before the pandemic and what it has become are very different, but the dream remains the same. And I see, in a way, it's being fulfilled, even more. So, we are all about, I really care about the idea of being very particular with African culture, because there's always dismissing Africa as just one chunk. And so for me, I'm interested in the Kenyan flavor, because that's what we understand. Even within the Kenyan flavor, we have so many cultures within it. And so taking that, and that is our lens that we look through and outside and see what other cultures are there, and then using that to also entertain cross-cultural collaboration, but then also then use the artistic production that we have to then talk about what is in our heart, and that is social justice. Yeah.
I can't wait. So let's start. We are first going to watch a compilation of works that were created through these international collaborations and locally at the beginning of the pandemic, when Bold Theatre started to tackle how to continue to create work and develop their artistry and continue this mission amidst such restrictions as so many of us have been experiencing. So let's go.
Breath, fiato, souffle. In between is where I live. In this space, my tongue builds as words appear, move, and I chase after them. There is an expression. In between is where I figure things out, where I'm allowed to have no right answers. I want to dunk you in this landscape so that you can ressentir ce qu'est mon expérience de l'ici, du oui et du non et du maybe.
The national language in Kenya is Swahili. In Paraguay, Guarani. I speak none of them, so I'm going to use English as our language in common. Today, my living room travels 10,647 kilometers away from here. Party. This is me dancing.
Our generation has cut off all that life has to offer and called that cool. The one who feels anything deeply is called weak. The one who wants to be genuine or honest or kind is called boring. Exciting things are no longer hand-holding, small kisses and stolen glances across the room. Excitement is drama-filled situations, detachment, and heartbreaks. Take a good look at the reality of our reality TV. The music. The music no longer makes you want to fall in love. Love someone better. Do a dramatic, romantic gesture like scream, "I love you" at the top of your lungs. We have taken these things and called them old school. The new school music stimulates your pride, your ego, and makes you feel like you're on top of the world. That feeling becomes the enemy when the song ends and you realize you're not, and your world is actually falling apart.
You are not hidden. There's never been a moment you were forgotten. You are not hopeless. Though you have been broken, your innocence stolen. I hear you whisper underneath your breath. I hear your SOS, your SOS.
All right. So, Aroji, can you tell us a little bit about what we just saw? What all of those, where all those pieces came from?
Yeah, so those are actually combination of I think about 1 year of work. So the first project we had was called Bold Memoir Show, which we allowed. So that was just as soon as we had the COVID regulations and there was a lockdown, we couldn't continue with our work as we had expected. And so, of course, there was a moment of just sinking into what's going to happen. And so we just started by opening up and saying, let's just start by opening the space and allowing for everyone to perform. So when we announced that, what was a surprise to us, which is now common, but then was a surprise, was that we had people from different locations in Kenya bringing in their work, submitting their work, but we also had people from other countries, both Africa, Asia, and even Europe, bringing in their countries, their performance, their shows. And then from there on, we had a lot of actors from Kenya who told me, hey, we really love, how some of these guys are working. Particularly, there was a lot of love with the Paraguayan work. So that's where, and I just met Paula in La Mama in Umbria. Right. So I asked her, hey, do you mind training my actors the way you do your work? Because I really love that style. So we did a performance skills training based on Paula's work that has her devising style. And so this was the first time, some of us, it was the first time we heard of Paraguay. So this was one class of Paraguayan students and Kenyan students coming together. Half of the class spoke in English and half of this class spoke in Spanish. And we managed to do the class. So I began to realize that this is actually digital theater actually has something that we hadn't really thought about. These cross-cultural collaborations that, like before then it was only we have to hold festivals to be together. And now we were just meeting, now we were just having workshops. And so it was amazing. So from those workshops, our actors came up with their stories, and then the Paraguayan actors, this was Paula's exercise, were being inspired by those stories. And they came up with, so one story produced 2 stories each. And we've shown a little bit of that.
It's amazing. And I feel like, at CultureHub and at La Mama, we also did so much of this learning early in the pandemic, where we were like, okay, we have to do something, and we put something out there, and it opened up a whole new range of who we were working with and who was engaging with the work. That was like, okay, yeah, we're not going to give this up anytime soon. This is a new way forward. And it's more sustainable maybe too, because you don't need the plane ticket like you're talking about, and you don't need to leave your life for 3 weeks. You just need to leave it for 3 hours to be in a room.
Well, I mean, we're always happy to travel.
Yeah, me too.
Every once in a while. But I mean, I agree. I support you that even I feel that even the travels will be more meaningful this time, because always when you do festivals and when you do, all these workshops, they're like, oh, it's a short time. I wish you were here for long. But now you've already spent time. I've already spent time with Paula. I feel like I know her from her base. And I also see a lot of commonality between, between Paula, the great, Paraguayan director, and us here, in Kenya. And so when we go, we're already seeing, these connections. And I feel like that continuity is easy. And the other thing also is the decentralization of art as a commodity. I feel that even I understand American theater more, because in our mind, most people only knew Broadway and Hollywood. Right. And now we see, there's actually a lot more, or even what the Broadway is actually mean, and where, how people do it. So I feel like that decentralization doesn't only mean that it is as interested in a particular culture, but it is more of a mutual relationship. And so that is why I'm really enjoying, and maximization of, this digital theater. So part of our workshops, actually, part of our workshop is actually about trainers. There's a couple called Ricky and R&D, Ricky and Dana, who came and did a workshop on digital theater. So we are very much interested in how we can explore that further.
Me too. And I want to ask you, Aroji, how did you find yourself in theater? What's your story?
When a story starts in 19, it becomes a bit. But I mean, I think for me, theater, and even up to date, has always been connected to what is happening around me. And so that is why when I was in school, I didn't know I was doing theater, because I was just the clown in the class. And then when I came out of school, I was so scared about the world because things were going haywire. So I became a Christian just to save myself. And so we started doing theater. I started doing theater as a way, actually as a means of evangelism, because I did theater in the neighborhood. I did theater in church. And then I actually realized that there was much more to it than that. So this has always been for me, the journey has always been discovering something else, and then wanting to share what I've discovered. A pivotal moment in my career was when in 2006, after about 3-4 years in theater, struggling, not knowing what to do, I joined this training company by the theater company, run by 2 awesome maestros, Keith Pearson and Mbubi Kaigwa. And we got training. That was actually the first training I got in theater after 3 years of just running around and not knowing what to do. And so that really shaped the way I looked at theater, the way I looked at performance, and the way I took myself important. And so slowly by slowly, it has always been for me trying to open more doors for other people, being very much aware of the struggles we've gone through, especially with the lack of training and lack of opportunities. So I've always just found myself in between theater and film, reaching out and also trying to open more doors so that we can explore. And, we're just at the beginning.
Yeah. So the next the next piece we're going to see is a video about the work that's going on at Kakuud, which is a refugee camp that you all collaborate with and that you've done work in. So can you prepare us for what are we about to see?
Yeah, I mean, this is this is a very important piece for me, because when I was just coming from the humanitarian side, so I've done a little bit of humanitarian work as well in the refugee camps, and then I realized that what I felt that was needed within this marginalized community was a forum where people could use creative expression or any other way they can articulate themselves without having to really be educated in policy and structure and say what they were really going through. So actually, Bold Theatre was this forum where people from the marginalized community were going to express themselves. And the first people to work with was going to be Kakuud, who I had actually trained before when I used to work in the refugee camps. So I trained most of them. I'd done a lot of projects with them, and I wanted to continue that. And then COVID happened. So when COVID happened, we couldn't do this project. And so you'll hear a little bit of that in the documentary.
So let's see it, and we'll talk more after. And this is a piece that is made by Bold Theatre with Kakuud. And so here's their creation.
Recently, we had a partnership with one of the theatre team of Nairobi called Bold Theatre. So everybody was happy because they were expecting some good incomes and also some good exposure from the camp to Nairobi. But unfortunately, due to this, there is no otherwise. My name is Ray Bulambo. I'm an actor and filmmaker based in Kakuma refugee camps, a Congolese by nationality. I've been doing this for the last 10 years.
Kwa majina naitwa Mariam Suleiman, naishi Kakuma refugee camp. Nafanya kwa TMT, mimi ni actress. Na hiyo TMT ina lead na Ray.
I'm called Lilian Samia. Yeah, I'm living in Kakuma refugee camp. Of course, I'm a refugee. Yeah, I'm an actress and I'm doing theater.
Well, after having sessions with the theater teams around Kakuma and resettlement camps Kalobeye, we at least have some different groups whereby I get a chance to train all of them, and ended up by selecting best out of it, and then come up with a theater team. So that theater team, we have two objectives, and the first one is to educate the society through theater, whereby we organize some theater around the community and come up with a problem that affecting the community. It might be child labor, it might be robbery, it might be discrimination. So what we do some door-to-door campaign to go and survey in the community and ask the problem. After having the problem, then we go with my team, we sit down. Sitting down, then we elaborate something. We go to perform for the community, and the best things are what we do. We normally gather them together and also give the chance to participate on theater. Give them the chance to probe in the scene, so that at least themselves should come up with a solution. The second objective, we are making it for living. You know, the standard of here in the Kakuma refugee camps is very tricky for us. So that's the reason why mostly what we do after doing that for the community, we also got a chance with the organizations around here like Film Aid, LWF, UNHCR. We get some contracts sometimes where they have the events. They call us and give us a theme, and then we organize a play of 7 to 10 minutes. Then we play. After that, 2 to 3 days, we get money. And most of us, most of my actors depends on the small amount of money that we use to get here in the camp.
Kazi ya usanii ni kazi nzuri kweli. Maana kama mimi hapa sina ingine kazi, nategemea hiyo kazi. Sometimes tunapata job, wanatuita, tunaenda tunafanya kazi, wanatupea pesa.
For the times coronavirus breakdown, for a short period of time, we really think that this is a time where by now we should now organizing some plays that will educate people for the prevention. By the time this outbreak keep growing and it's very serious, people are dying, people are very disappointed, especially my actors, they are now in stress.
Yeah, life in camp is very hard. Of course, due to this disease called coronavirus, now there is no necessary movement, there is no job, people are at home, so things are very hard. Yeah, but we are just pushing it. Yes, the small that we are getting, the food is not even enough. From the World Food Program, it is not really enough. The food is being given for 1 month, but it can last long for only 3 days or 4 days, can get finished.
Tunajifeel bad kwa sababu saa hii kwanza si tulikuwa na opportunity ya kwenda Nairobi kuperform Nairobi theater, lakini sasa kwa sasa na hii kipindi ya corona kila kitu kimekansoliwa. Na unajua kama si refugees tunapewa chakula ration, na hiyo chakula haitusaidii kitu, ni kidogo sana. Sasa ndio sisi tunategemea kazi yetu ya theater, lakini kwa sasa ni mbaya sana, hatupati chochote, kila kitu kimefungwa, yani tunapitia kipindi kigumu sana.
So I make sure to visit them sometimes, and also they do come to visit me at my home, whereby we exchange things and also to keep giving them hope that you'll keep working. And what I keep seeing them, it better also because it's not really affecting all just the artists from Kakuma. This is something that is worldwide. It's affecting even all artists of Kakuma, Lodwar, Nairobi, and all over the world. So they shouldn't worry about it. Let's keep stay at home. Make sure what guys should be done. Let's follow the precaution. Remember, people are really dying outside there. People are dying all over the world. Make sure you handle your hands. Wash your hands, frequently. Avoid crowded places, as well as social distancing is very important. And they wear a mask due to cough and sneeze to prevent lives. But the best option for you is to just stay at home.
All right. So how's it feeling right now, Oroji, where you are, and have you been working with folks in Kakuma lately? What's the energy right now where you are?
Yes, so well, it's been, right now saying tough feels like you need to say something to distinguish the toughness that's going around all over the world. But I feel it's also all right to say that because a lot of people have now understand, when you say toughness, when you say, when you refer to what other people are going through, especially from the marginalized community. Unfortunately, due to, I do not really know what's happening, but in my opinion, some political havels that the government had with other countries, they actually, like a month ago, they had sent a formal letter wanting to close down or declaring to close down Kakuma refugee camp and Dadaab refugee camp. So this is close to 500,000 people who they wanted to leave the country in 2 weeks, which is crazy.
Right.
But there's a lot of crazy things happening right now that so the situation with the refugees themselves is it's very close to my heart. What we use here is encampment policy, which means that they cannot be able to leave unless they have visas the way we need to have visas to come to America and other places. And so, but then they're just here in the surrounding is not as large. It's not a whole country that they're living in. Right. And so you have situations where someone has lived in the camp for 19 years without ever leaving, So even there's just a lot of things that the refugees go through. And my life was literally changed when I thought I was going there to help people, only to be taught about life, only to be taught about hope and care. You know, there's some things I used to worry about, and I realized that it's very minute compared to what they're going through. The other discovery was, when I taught there is no privilege. So whatever they took it as life, as life and death. That was all they had. The hope there is so strong. And so what I've been able to see over the years of teaching there was some of them go back to their countries of origin and they become directors, they become managers, they get jobs there. I'm like, wow, can you now employ me? So it's just amazing what happens there. Some of them get they go to the other countries that they're hoping to go to, and they also get opportunity based on the kind of trainings. So I think it's the first time that I realized how much of a profession art is, apart from just being, which is something that of course I use as a tool of communication. So yeah, so there's been a lot there. We've also worked with people from other marginalized communities here in Nairobi and Kisumu, and this is especially working with the youth from the slums and the youth in these places. And I think what we get there is the same. The level of resilience, the level of hope there, what they believe in is just different. You don't see it anywhere, and that then affects the talent, because that group of Ray. As you can see, we did some work on street theater, community-based theater, and it's just amazing, when you see people's faces, when you see how they connect to the world, and they are like more than 21 languages there, and we have to put all that together and do a show that everyone in the audience would understand. So it's been quite an experience, and let me just say, anyone who wants to work with the refugees, anyone who wants to work with marginalized community, or anyone who has to teach, who knows more about it, I'm open. That is something that is really close to my heart, and we just keep working on it. And if I can say Festival, there's another festival by CultureHub that Ray and his group also just participated in. So we have like 10 people from Kakuma refugee camp, and we have 2 people from Mogadishu in Somalia, who are part of the general others, the 22 others who will also be participating. So I'm really grateful for these opportunities, CultureHub and MaMa that you share with us, so that we can be able to, share with everyone. And that has really excited our spirits.
Yeah, and what you said earlier also just about it's reciprocal. It's both ways. It goes both ways really deeply. And I have one question, which is just, the folks who we were seeing in the video, and they are saying I'm an actor, and were they actors before you all started to work with them, or was the Bold Theater and the work that you guys were doing, did that inspire new careers, or is it more like, okay, this is already existing here?
I've worked with them before Bold Theater. So I've worked in the camps before Bold Theater. I have someone like Ray. I think I started working with Ray in 2015. Yeah. I'm not sure, maybe earlier. I can't remember when. But he, there's a lot of talent in the camp. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of love for film and news and journalism in the camp. And so I probably have seen a lot of them joining, and even Ray growing into becoming like this leader who is able to coordinate and do this. So I've been part of the process, but that a lot of that has happened independent of me and independent of Bold Theater. So they're always built with people who can go there and give training and work with them and work in collaboration. And then and that's how it started. But then you have like strong people like Ray who then just take it over and say, I'm going to do it whether I have funding or not. It's just inspiring to see someone like that and say, hey, I'm going to put up a team, whether there's funding or not, and I'm going to continue doing this work. But I'm also going to use these skills that we've been developed and we've been trained in to also find work somewhere. So they try and find work through organizations and institutions, either through film and theater, and they're used for communication programs in the camp.
I'm so lucky to get to know these independent artists who are just, hustling and making it happen in all sorts of ways.
Yeah.
Everyone is everywhere. It's all happening.
Amazing. It's amazing. I'm always just amazed by that. I think, of course, you have a lot of sort of like, and it's not bad. Just lack of, my English is not that broad. So I'll use celebrity culture. So there's a celebrity culture, which is good because it's commercial and they're using that. But also, we don't forget that art in itself is just art. And it's actually the most powerful tool, and I got this from La Mama. Art is love, Ellen Stewart and David Diamond. I have to mention, David Diamond is an angel, through him, I think this Bold Theatre just rose up from David Diamond's, lessons and inspiration. And I feel the love, I have to say this, I'm not trying to praise you guys or anything. I just feel like there's a lot of love in La Mama. And for me, that is what I got. I think that is what I got most when I went to Italy. And I brought that back. I realized that, it's not about the competition. If we get that, that's fine. But let's use art to be able to express ourselves and to be able to give people opportunity to showcase the experiences. And then through that, people will even intellectually begin to understand, the human condition and how to react or communicate with each other. So that is what I find amazing in this, especially in the marginalized community.
Beautiful. So let's go to our last piece of the show. Normally on Downtown Variety, we're focused on liveness, but this show that we have been developing with Bold Theatre, with Hiroji, with all of these amazing artists, we ran into some issues with the internet, which we have them everywhere. We have them at CultureHub in the East Village. But what we were dealing with this scenario made collaborating with a group of actors in real time really difficult. So we decided to take a new approach and take a risk and see what happens. So Bold Theatre got a group of actors together. They shot something in the span of 24 hours. There were also some COVID complications, and we didn't know what was going to come out of it. So what you're about to see is what came out. It's pre-recorded and it's edited collaboratively between Bold Theatre, between La Mama and CultureHub, and it's really teaching us and helping us learn as we continue to figure out how to collaborate across borders using cameras, using the internet, using technology. And this work feels unclassifiable at this point. It sits between cinema, theater, performance art, internet culture, and it's going to keep on informing what we do next. So let's see it. This is Dreams Kwama 3. Oh, and after, we're going to be joined by the actors who will talk about the process. Okay, let's see it.
Hello, Danny. Yes. Ario maber, irio nade. Abudho ni awacho ni awinj duondi matin. Koni to ok ochwe ahinya, mana matin gi chieng' mapile. Mana mar drama cha. Adhi temo. Adhi moso gigi te. In bende ogwedhi. Oriti. Pantalomo kaba mama. Tubananga. Yesu kise bilo bilango ya bato. Likwela yanga ina shehi. Sukalilita ma. Na yebaki. Suka seko tingamae. Ingali na mobai nangai.
pantalon mokaba mama bananga yasukisa bilo belango ya bato likola yanga inashehi sukalilitama ngaina yaho na yebinkongo ya mbandate yangaina yaho libala kongo bombandate ae.
Mwanamke unapenda zogo, tafuta jambo hilo la kufanya.
How much have you paid?
How much does she pay? How much? Jifundishe kuongea kwa how much? Okay, I'm gonna give you, just leave her alone.
Hey, finally.
Can't be here the whole day.
Hapana, nyinyi pia mnapenda pesa sana.
Anaongeaje vibaya?
Kwenda huko.
Imagine, don't let him spoil your day. Don't let him spoil your day. They're always like this. Where were you going?
I was going these auditions, both theater.
Zenye ziko down home?
Hata uko ndo nenda.
I'm also going there.
Actually, I'm late.
Yeah, we're late because they was it 8:30, 8:20?
Call time was.
Sorry. Hi. I just heard you guys talk about John Home and John Theatre. You guys going for the auditions?
Yeah.
Wow. Wait,
you're going?
Yeah. Nimeshinda nikiambia conductor nishukishe John Home. So you guys know where the place is?
Yeah.
Oh, thank God.
Enjoy your story. What? To me, anaweza kill role ya.
Bora nilipatia kikombe, mimi sitaki prop.
Anaweza kill.
Nifanye ni prop.
Tulie tu ishe.
Aluongo ukan kech adwa nyiso gimoro. Aseparo ng'ato anadwa timo acting. Okadwa timo nursing kech mano ken gima hero, anahero acting to okadwa bete class awinjo japuonj to okahero nursing, anahero acting. To acting en gi tich baba, inyalo bet producer, inyalo bet film director, inyalo bet kata actress. Dongine no ga Lupita en actress osetimo movie man to fias basle.
Fuck! Moha, are you okay? I leave my drumsticks in the fridge, then I come home, To find a big fuck you. You're gonna ridicule me like that.
My drumstick in the fridge. Can't you feel the smell inside my house?
What smell?
Usikie harufu ndani ya nyumba yangu.
Ya managu. Maybe I've never eaten managu or washed it at all.
Rich kid.
Are you listening to me? This is injustice. This is so wrong. I'm gonna call Dad.
Oh, wait.
You wanna talk now? Oh, so you wanna talk? You wanna talk? I wanna hear you say, you wanna talk?
How much do you want?
I want 5K.
3K. Make it 3K. Hey.
Okay.
3K.
This is so wrong. I feel like I've lost my balance. I feel like I've lost my equilibrium.
Cindy.
Hey, sema mambo. Pembe niko poa. Moha. I know. Moha. Uliniambia busy inaendelea vizuri, si ndio? Okay, do you have 5,500 with you?
Pandemic meaning.
You can't help me with 5,500. You're the same person who has been telling me that your business is going well. You're even thinking of employing 2 people, and now you can't even help me with 5,500.
I have
surely. Okay, are you helping me with this money or not? Unanisaidia ama?
Okay.
Unanisaidia ama unisaidii?
Hey yo, it's Phil the Kangogo, Lakeside, bipolar, Lego.
Someone was being rude, come on guys. I even made sure I dressed the party. Imagine you look a bit older. Email.
Brothers and sisters, I greet you in the name of the Lord. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord. It is a beautiful day that you have been found in this matatu. And I want to say that you are blessed kwa sababu neno la Bwana limekuja huko utakuta mahali huko. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. And because it is a beautiful day, I want us to share from the book of John. And John 3 verse 16 says what? For God so loved the world. Yani Mungu alipenda sana dunia. That he gave his only begotten
Umetovacha nini? Mascarpone. Hii ni nchi gani? Wewe. Ngata. Okay, mas.
Nijua mask nimejua mask.
Out. Wewe. Msichana. Ngozi mzuri.
Yeah. Mtu wa shule yudo huko.
Mask. Wapi mask? Na isingekuwa na mtumishi. Ningelala ndani. Kionja cha mtema kuni.
One plus one is 2. 10 plus 1 is 11. 1 plus 10 is 1,000, and 1 plus 1 is 1,000,000. Mathematical genius, but don't tell anyone I'm an alcoholic. Sir? Yes, sir. Alcoholic, sir. Not in the traditional sense, but imagine for a moment. I love alcohol so much, but I have never tasted it. Not even a dry sugar malt. My husband took out my left eye. Why? The meat was undercooked. He smokes like a chimney. Do chimneys smoke? I don't know. Chimneys, smoke. I don't know. Oh, and it was pork, by the way. I still don't know what I did. My children all think I'm a loser. I passed my CS, but never got a chance to go to uni, so now everyone thinks I'm dumb. But I'm an alcoholic, and I have never tasted alcohol. Wait. Could you read for me my diagnosis again?
Mom. Mom, kuna kitu. Mom, kuna kitu ngoja kuambia. And no! Especially because I'm getting average grades now. He's taking advantage of me. Mama, Mwalimu, start touching me. Touching me. Mom, kuna kitu. Mom, kuna kitu ngoja kuambia. And nilikuwa Mom, nikuikia pen. Mom, kuna kitu. Mom, kuna kitu nataka kuambia. Mom. Mom, kuna kitu. Waiter. Oh, sasa hiyo hizi niangalia, si ndio? Lakini ukinidinya, lazima uniangalie.
Ai, lakini hata hapana, wewe pia vile hapo mali. No. Take responsibility. No, this is usually the problem with men. Ndio, this is the problem with men. Yeah, take responsibility. No, si ati hainihusu. Take ni mtoto wa shule. Umempea mimba. In fact, I will post you on Kenyans on Twitter. Kenyans on Twitter. Don't shout in my ears. Don't even shout. No, take responsibility. It's take responsibility. That's all we are saying.
You know nothing, yani. Until Madam Pale, you know some dreadlocks. Mama.
Herene za simama, lakini hata kuchukua simu zangu wezi chukua.
Preach, girl. Preach.
More likable. And he asked me what I was in there for. And I said, murder. And that made the questionnaire laugh out loud. And he was like, I'd like to do a murder. Murders are kept away from us, but they seem to have brought you here. And they all celebrated. They were like, yeah, what a day, what a day. And so one of the guys started coming closer and closer to me. I could feel his breath. and I could also smell the hot breath of the questionnaire. And one of the inmates in the crumbled cell started a heated conversation in order to stop the man from tearing my trousers, but that still that couldn't even stop the man from tearing my trousers at all. I tried with every single strength in my body. I tried with everything I had, but they beat me up until I was unconscious. And when I was unconscious, these people started a heated debate. Yeah, they started a heated debate about who will go first. You know, you people are talking right here. I don't know if you can imagine the tear. You know, the terror, the anxiety, the fear. And when the heated debate was over, the one who was my questionnaire started it.
You want to know how it starts? It starts with a glow in one's eyes. A stream of unstoppable desires rushes through one's veins. When the minds reach out to the victim of desire, there's never time for a weak fondle of the body, but the scourge of interesting impulses directs their hands into innumerable acts of grasping. The victim screams. The heart beats faster. The tongue salivates the more. The joy of manhood hardens exponentially. The victim screams again.
I think women should just be careful. Stop wearing short dresses and stuff. Then they'll be safe.
Excuse you?
That's what you think?
Okay, we go back now.
Oh my god, are you serious? Are you fucking kidding me right now?
Are you serious? Is this
Why the fuck would you say that?
It's my opinion.
Ndio. Hivi. Iko. Simesikia kisha. Hivi. Iko huko. Chapa hiyo show. Hakuna venye tuita mimi naweza kaa hivi. Hakuna venye mimi naweza kaa hivi. Ana ndio rafiki yako penye mnaenda. Mwenye mtafutie do. Hata unaweza muomba pesa. By the way, Gibonda. Muombe tukaa like 75. Like 7500. Mtu hii. Sasa hii. Itaita hakuna venye mimi naweza kaa hivi. Sisi Joanna mama wangu for almost 2 months.
Wasanii tumechujwa wera. Nilikuwa naomba nafaa kwenda wapi sijui.
Toita nyamaza nimekujua leo for almost 6 months. Na mimi najuanga biashara zote unapanga nazo, acha kuniongelesha hivyo. Kwenda huko.
Pachuo. Mbona kunichanua mapema?
Ngeli kwa juu ya pole.
Wewe, sika gari, sika watu.
Oi.
Okay, please don't get violent.
Let's just
talk hapa.
Hapana. You just talk to your friend to be responsible. Imagine just take us.
We will find.
Tumia do.
Kwenda na huko ndo.
No, you guys usimwambie
Yesu kise bilombe lango ya pato Nikwala yanga ina shehi Sukali litama Ngainda yaho Naye binkongo ya mandate Ngainda yaho Naye binkongo bombandate Aye Ngainda yaho Naye binkongo ya mandate Ngainda yaho
Libala Congo bombandate. Aye.
Hey yo, it's Phil the Kangogo. Lakeside, bipolar. Lego.
Oh, hey, she a badder than badder. I can murembo kupindukia, but I need an umbrella in case of bad weather. Hapa Kingsman nina kinga, yeni bipolar. Simu TV amenivunjia, naogope ya gita, yes I get fed up. But hizi vitu ye ufanya for the love.
Bold Theater, everybody. So good to have you all here. So now we're joined by some of the stars of this piece that you just saw. And I want to hear from everybody. Evroji, can you help everybody introduce themselves?
Yeah, I think we'll just have to start from somewhere.
Yes.
Anyone?
Mati.
Hi everyone. My name is Martina Ayoro. I am a performing artist and a lover of art. And yeah, I was among the people who played different roles for the Dreams, 3. So it was a wonderful experience.
Hey, Wagwan everybody. My name is Steve Gitao. I'm an actor, and I was also one of the co-stars of this magnificent piece. And I had fun making it. It was a blast.
Hi everyone, my name is Charlene and I'm also a performing artist. I was part of the actors who acted Dreams, 3, and I hope you guys loved it because I enjoyed doing it.
And I think we were enjoying your beautiful voice at the end, right?
Thank you.
Beautiful. Who else we got?
Daisy.
Hi guys, I'm Daisy. Daisy Onyango, a performing artist. I was also a part of the cast of Dreams, 3.
Hi guys.
Hey.
Wagwan Toita.
I think he's closing the live stream. Yeah. Cool. So here we are, and as you know, we're everybody's.
Hi guys.
Yeah.
I'm Toita Christopher Mwangi. I was also I was also an actor in Dreams, 3, and I really
are. And as I think if you close the live stream that you're watching, it'll help. But it's good. Oh, okay. Well, let's start. We're all here. We're all in varying degrees of internet, and it's so good to be with you all. And so I wanted to start by just learning a little bit about the process and how you guys made this piece, because I know it was a kind of intensive day. And I also just want to say that beautiful work, and I really felt like I was in the rehearsal room with you, like as you guys were making this in this intensive period. So tell us a little bit about how it was to make it. Anybody?
Making Dreams, 3 was a self-discovery process for most of us, because of the nature of how we executed this work. It was mostly devising and improvisation, and it helped us to just go into very intricate parts of ourselves and just to just discover and explore on them, and also to just trust yourself and trust in each other in terms of creating together. So it was really beautiful, and it was very detailed, even in terms of how people just communicated their ideas and expressed them. They were coming from a place of truth, and it was really beautiful. Like everyone was just so blatant, and everyone was just there. Everyone just immersed, and it was beautiful.
And how did you all come up with this story and all of the different, small pieces of stories that were in this piece?
Well, so I mean, we just people we had different conversations, and people are just expressing themselves in terms of the experiences they've had from life, including the worst and the happiest moment for each and every one of us, and we kind of just use that to lay a foundation or a basis for us to be able to play out these beautiful characters.
And what about the actual making? Because I heard that Aroji cooked for you guys, because you all had to have a sleepover. What was that story? What was that 24 hours of making this piece like?
We actually met physically for 2 days, and Aroji really fed us, like breakfast, lunch, supper, and we had no choice. We had to work hard the whole day on toes because we were fed.
You worked hard because they fed you. Charlene, what are you saying?
Yeah, and I think it was a nice experience. It gave us motivation.
I wasn't in Nairobi. So I was just looking at guys being fed, and I'm working via Zoom. So for me, it was quite an experience.
Yeah. And let me add also, Marty, that the half of the cast is actually almost half of the cast is also not here. So I just want to shout out Senator Calvin and who else is not here? Idris and Cindy. And I also just want to tell them these have been like really good human beings to work with. This has been so the work is coming from my workshop, which I dubbed approaching a Kenyan story. And we've been giving workshop. My background is in teaching, so I already have a different organization where we do like real classes and programs that I want to bring in. But then for this one, we've invited other people to work with us. So also just shout out to Adam Parker, shout out to R&D, shout out to Paula. And then this time I thought, we really need to now bring some Kenyan work in it. And this group has been so passionate and so talented, and also very much gravitated towards their own. So it was also amazing to just see, those stories, just really coming out through them, because they've been working in different ways, but seeing that come out, like I think it was within 3-4 days, it was like, I get it. And then there was a big difference. So that really inspired me to see how, people can really just take something and really make it much better. The other thing was of course, the internet challenges, as you can see in Kenya, what's happening. So when we shot this, as some people are very far away. Martina was in Mombasa, which is another city in Kenya. Daisy was in Kisumu, which is also another city in Kenya. And then the rest of us were just scattered around Nairobi. And we thought we were doing 4-5 hours of this workshop for, I think, 2 to 3 weeks. And then at some point, it just became impossible because we wasted, we used to say, the internet is the most annoying cast that we have. Yeah. Because out of 4 hours, we only had 2 hours of good internet. And so we finally decided that let's just all meet together and then do the film. But then Daisy was not available. So we had to shoot a film, and part of it had to be shot with the cast who's supposed to be there, not there. So it has been quite an experience.
Yeah, we always say the internet and any technology you're working with is kind of a diva. The diva of the...
Yeah.
And it was actually it was something really beautiful, especially when we actually met, and because just for the physicality of it, for the physical rehearsals, it was so beautiful, because now we just feeding off each other's energy. It
Mhm.
was so beautiful. People just felt accelerated. People are just elevated, even during these physical rehearsals, which were only two of them. But I feel like what we were able to cover, or what we were able to achieve with those two physical rehearsals, was it was so huge. It was really dope.
Yes, so much came out of what you all made, like hours and hours and hours of footage. And what we just saw is a very, like, just, you know, one capture of that, of those days. And I think so much can come out from it. And Martina, I think you were maybe going to say something earlier, and I also just wanted to, that one monologue that you did about the nursing and the acting, I just wanted to know about filming that, and for you, especially as a working on camera. Like, what does it feel like to work on camera versus for the stage? How is that different for you?
I think, okay, earlier I was just gonna chip in and say that, yeah, being in one location with everyone takes a lot. First of all, you have to get accustomed to how do people eat, how will we all sleep in this big house. But Aroji was very accommodating with his space, and we all fell in love with his cat Ginger, which is a story for another day. But
I did.
okay, yeah, one person didn't like the cat, but yeah, I think when it comes, I most of my background has been very theatrical. So when COVID hit, it's a bit of an adjustment when theater has to be done in front of a camera. At some point, you feel like you're lying to, you know, the theater love. You feel like, apana. So it was a bit of a task. I think for me, I'm still getting adjusted to acting in front of the camera and still calling it theater, because again, when it's theatrical, you want to have the loudest of voices. And I remember even when shooting, there's scenes that Aroji had to keep telling us we can't shout because there's, first of all, echo. So we had to also tone down our voices and stuff like that. There are times when you want to be all extra with your movement, but or maybe my hand is not on frame, and you have to now, it felt like at some point you have to work with a box. Even rehearsals sometimes, like on Zoom, like right now, I'm in a box. So it feels like if I go this wide, you can't see what's happening outside. So it feels like I have to be here. But again, also for me as an actress, every opportunity is a learning opportunity. It's a beautiful journey. And, you know, we're just with the times, we're just with what we have. And the beauty of devising and improv was the fact that we go with the flow. We try to be very open-minded with it. So yeah, that was just the beauty of this workshop, that you had to come with an open mind, that one day you're going to be at table and the next minute you are going to be in a matatu. So yeah.
Yeah. There's so much more I want to know, and I also want to know from Tuita, who I think we had a little audio issue with before, but maybe, yeah, we can hear from you a little bit, and just your experience too.
Yes, yes, earlier I had a problem with my audio, but I'm Toita Christopher Mwangi. Yes, I'm an actor, and I was really lucky to participate in Matatu 3, and it was quite a good experience to me, because I felt like we were really used to the stage. And as Martina was saying, expressing ourselves, the gestures are big, you know, the voice and everything. But this time we are using the frame of the camera as our stage. And let me say, I came out with a new technique. I learned, let me say, the technique of subtleness and calmness. And because, let me say, I learned that the camera really does pick a lot of details, like they have watched the entire, I've watched the entire play right now. And for stage, you're used to people afar, you have to be broad and everything. So let me say, it was quite a good experience for me. And let me say I'm a lucky actor to be among these beautiful, talented people right here in Kenya.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And let me say that we've done something amazing. We've taken digital in Kenya to another level.
Yes, I totally agree. I feel lucky too. The camera work too. I just want to talk about, like, Aroji, your relationship with the camera operator. You know, what was that? Was the camera operator like another kind of actor in the room, also devising where the shot was, what shot they're getting? Were you super? What was that experience like for you as a theater director too?
Yeah, so first of all, shout out to Biko. Biko, he likes to be known as Crow Media, so I'm going to respect that. Crow Media for the camera work, and also the beginning of the draft. Also, before just we continue, I want to really say big thank you to Theo.
Yes.
And Mia. I have to mention them. They're magicians. That's what I can say. You know, I feel like the story has been told in so many, in different ways. The fact that it's devised, first of all, it means that it's not from one person, coming from the director, coming from the camera, and then the beautiful, beautiful post-production with Mia and Theo. For me, I was looking at it from an audience eye as opposed to, you know, camera being the eye of God. So I was like really much into what can I see without really focusing on other things. You know, if I'm interested in the eye, I was just going for the eye. If I'm interested, you know, with the cup, you know, I'll just go with the cup. So it was about the camera as a member of the audience, you know. And as we still sort of like explore this idea of what is theater for digital theater, I just sort of like forgot about that. I try to tell my actors as best as possible not to really worry about the technique. We would just follow them. But of course, as Duit has mentioned, you know, and Martina is like, maybe with this green screen part, then the cameraman will be more interested in, I want to capture this, so you will have to feel that you're fixed into one place. And so we had like shots that were more technically involved, that the actors had to be sort of like technically inclined. But I have to say they were so good at it. They were so good. You know, it was so natural for me always seeing them under behind the camera. They were just, every shot that I got was just really natural. And I was like, where are they getting those tears in the midst of all these, you know, technical challenges? So I really, really enjoyed working with them. And I think the actors made it look better. For me, I was just there standing in for the audience and consuming, you know, in that way. Yes, and then take it to the next level.
Because that's what we need as the audience in this online format, because we're removed and we need that person who's going to really care. What do they want to see, and how close can we get? That's so important.
Yeah. And I think to think about it, you know, that is sort of like from what my experience, what I'm watching and what we're coming out. I think now I realize how important the audience is for the performer. Whereas in film, I didn't, you know, the film I've done, that thought has been there, but it hasn't really been as serious as when you have a show. Because I realized that every time as an actor, you're always thinking about your audience. And sort of like that is what we are seeing in digital theater. That is what we are seeing in whatever people are calling it, you know, online theater or wherever. The audience is still part of the creation. So guys, you're watching. Thank you for those who are watching, and I hope you enjoyed the show. We were thinking about you.
Yes, we can feel it. Folks, it's been so good. I mean, I have so many more questions. There's so much more to learn from you all and with you all, but I think we just have to know that this is one step, and I can't wait for the next one. I also want to express our gratitude from MaMa and CultureHub, just how grateful we are to have been able to collaborate with you and find and create something together. It was truly a collaboration. We had fun. You all are fun people, and I'm glad that you were part of it. And Aroji, we are so grateful for all of your work, working on the internet and cross-cultural collaborations to sustain our company is something that we identify with deeply. So Thank you all so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Yes. Okay.
Asante sana, asante sana.
All right, folks. So as Aroji said, if you want more from Bold Theater, we've got a show at 2 p.m. today. Yes, in like 30 minutes. Local Report 2021 by Robert Whitman is an audio-visual tapestry that weaves together audio and video clips from students in Kenya, Korea, Italy, Indonesia, Serbia, Portugal, the Netherlands, the UK, and the US. And it's a really interesting and beautiful work that's capturing the world right now from a lot of different perspectives. It'll be playing on CultureHub's Refest webpage. Our next couple months of Downtown Variety presentations are going to be a part of Experiments in Digital Storytelling, which will explore longer format pieces. We're working with playwrights to see how their work changes and how their work can change the online format. In May, we're working on a new piece with Theater in Quarantine, and in June, we're going to create a new work which will be a MaMa and CultureHub production. So stay tuned. As always, I'm honored to be able to be a part of this work, and thank you so much for being here. Until next time.
Till next time.
Yes.
Wewe kama mihanga basically upatikani, nyororo yako sawa lakini wewe huendeshwani. Kwa kupendeza umerithi macho yangu na kutamani, sitoweza kunengua peke yangu ukiwa ndani. Ukiwa ndani unaniumiza sana, na ukitoka nje unanituliza mama. Ukiwa ndani unaniumiza sana, ukitoka nje minatulia mama. Jini Lesotho mpaka Moroko, Senailwani, wana wadogo mpaka wakubwa, Senailwani, bara Afrika mpaka Amerika, Senailwani, Senailwani.